Good morning. It is next morning. We did drive the 600 miles to Topeka, and then we stayed at a Days Inn. We checked in at like 1:30 in the morning, so that was pretty fun. Got pulled over by a cop because
it was strange. Like, the cop was behind John, and then John moved out of the way for him, and then he pulled John over, and he was like, you have to wait at least 100 feet before you merge. Like,
before you turn the blinker on, because you know it's
before you like.
Yeah, it's a two-way lane, and I was on the far left, so there was a car behind me that seemed like it was going faster, so I turned the signal, but as soon as I turned the signal, I moved away, but I guess that was an issue.
And then he was saying how your license was obscured by the vanity plate,
which is the default vanity plate that all dealerships give you with their like dealership names, so like that. I don't know. And
yeah,
then
we've never had an issue with that.
And then I had a registration issue, but I think it has to do with me getting a special license. But that
it's
like
John
never
ordered
arrived.
a license plate from the DMV in 2019.
Yeah, that
or
it just never came.
And it never came, and they're charging him for a custom license plate that he doesn't have, and you've gone multiple times, you've called them multiple times,
so
and
I'm waiting
like,
to get it back now.
So frustrating.
But anyway, it's the next day. It is raining outside right now, as you can see, and we are going to grab a bite to eat and then go to the Brown versus Board of Education national site thing, and then head over to
Kansas City,
Missouri.
Kansas City.
That's in Missouri.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I'm just saying Kansas City. So apparently, we're in the heart of the wheat belt because most of the country's grain is grown, and as much as half of our bread is baked from Kansas wheat, which I learned from our travel book that Nico got us. Well, got John, but we reference it very frequently. So thank you, Nico. Thank you.
Okay, we are at the Milk and Honey in Topeka, Kansas. So tell the world what you got.
Milk and honey oat. It's really good. Latte.
Yeah.
A chicken salad sandwich with pasta.
Yeah. I just got the club sandwich, $6 or $7. It's super cheap. So yeah. Wi-Fi. John 3:16. So sandwiches were good. Bianca couldn't finish half of her sandwich, which is, usual. So we're now going to our Brown versus Board of Education place. Let's go. Across the field in front of you stands the former Monroe Elementary School. Parents of 6 students that attended this school in 1949 participated in the Brown versus Board of Education lawsuit. On May 17, 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a breakthrough ruling on Brown versus Board of Education, declaring that in the field of public education, separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. And that is a school. Fascinating. So the Monroe Elementary School was no ordinary elementary school. It opened in 1927 and was a key part of Topeka's Grand $1 Million School Construction Program. The Kansas City Times back in 1927 said, in all buildings, the Topeka School Board has held faithfully to its plan to make the schools not only scientifically correct and modern, but things of beauty and architectural parts of the neighborhoods in which they stand. And in 1951, the parents of students from Monroe School joined the others from across the city as plaintiffs in the Brown versus Board of Education lawsuit. Very cool. Let's go in. Monroe School was designated as a National Historic Landmark in 1991. Let's go inside. By the way, as you go inside, check this out. You read about it, it's just different when you see it in person. 이게 뭐냐면요, 백인은 왼쪽, 흑인은 오른쪽이라는 거. There is passport stamps here too. Oh, time for the stamps. Nice. Where did you put yours? Down here?
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. Oh, kind of messed up. Okay, wait.
No, babe, I don't think
Okay. Okay, never mind. It is what it is. So all of the states that are gray means there were no specific legislation on segregation before the decision of Brown versus Board of Education. All the blue states means segregation was permitted. The red states where segregation was prohibited. The teal colors are where segregation was actually required.
Not much has changed, huh?
People resisted implementing the Supreme Court decision, and apparently in Arkansas, for example, closed down its entire public school system to avoid desegregation. The Prince Edward County School Board in Virginia closed its public schools for 5 years in a similar campaign of massive resistance. Very interesting. So African American students started to assert their right to attend previously all-white schools in a deliberate test of the Brown decision. And who are these people?
The Little Rock Nine in Little Rock, Arkansas, in 1957 tried to go to a high school, and it was actually, so the governor had used the National Guard to stop them from going to school, and President Eisenhower sent troops to oppose that. And it was the first time the government had enforced court-ordered desegregation.
Crazy.
Miss Ruby Bridges went in 1960, was escorted to first grade, but the entire white student body stayed home, so she was the only one at school. Isn't that so sad?
And she had to study alone for the rest of the year.
So Charlene Hunter and Hamilton Holmes were the first African American students to gain admission to the University of Georgia. That was just in 1961.
Yeah.
Like, our parents were alive, you know, like.
Yeah. Crazy.
So May 17th, 1954 is when the Supreme Court unanimously decided for Brown versus Board of Education, which was important because Earl Warren, the Chief Justice at the time, wanted to send a message that our country was not going to deal with segregation anymore.
Very interesting. Which of these activities were ever segregated in at least one state of the United States? Well, if you guessed all of them, you were correct. This is a recreated kindergarten room that may have existed in the 1950s in the Topeka kindergartens.
You go to this Wednesday?
What?
Like, Nicholas used to have his back to school nights and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
in elementary school, and I would go, and the chairs are so small. You know?
I've only been to his middle school ones.
Yeah, they used to be so small.
It's really very cool. We were just driving past Sonic when Bianca noticed they were selling pickle fries, so here it is.
It is so weird. I like it.
Yeah. So are these literally pickles?
They're like pickle spears, tiny pickle spears. I don't know. Kind of too. They're like sliced.
Yeah, not bad. And you guys, where we are? We are obviously at Costco in Kansas. Waiting in line to get Costco gas in what part of Kansas? Linwood?
Lenexa.
Lenexa. Okay, checked into our La Quinta in Kansas City. I did not plan on staying in Kansas City. I thought we were gonna go to St. Louis, but there was a little miscommunication, I guess. But anyway, so we're staying in Kansas City in Missouri right now. We just unpacked everything and we are gonna go get some dinner. I think we're gonna get Japanese ramen. So there's one like 15 minutes away. After that, come back. I've got 2 days worth of videos to upload and stuff, so
I have a lot of journaling to do too.
And we got a plan tomorrow.
And I have to send out my postcards. I've been hoarding postcards since like New Mexico.
Yeah, so anyway, off to dinner. Okay, what did you get?
Miso ramen.
Miso ramen. I got the tonkatsu ramen. No soft boiled egg in Japanese ramen. What is this? Alright, it is actually past midnight. We're gonna get ready to go to bed because breakfast is from 6 to 9. But anyway.
Look at all my postcards. I need to mail them out tomorrow.
Yeah, she's been writing postcards and going over what we're gonna do tomorrow. Excuse me.
Practicing my Korean.
Yeah, and then I've been just doing video stuff. And anyway, the ramen was not that great, so hopefully.
It was so sad. You know, like the pho we had in Denver was great.
Yeah.
Like, that was good, but this ramen was like, no.
Anyway, yeah, I'm running out of things to say, so we'll see you tomorrow.